Happy New Year, brethren, and welcome to our first newsletter for 2024, and to what I'm sure will be an exciting year for Freemasonry. These newsletters have become an important part of our communication stream, and they represent the perfect opportunity for me as Grand Master to stay in touch with you. They're all available on our website for you to watch, and as we move forward, I plan to transition to video-only newsletters, which will be more accessible, save time, and importantly, save us some money. Today, we'll cover the amazing progress our team have made implementing our new computer system, the reasons for it and challenges we have faced along the way in creating for us a world-class, robust system with futurity. Firstly, I'm now in a position to say that your website is finally ready to play its important role in how we operate, not only here in Lodgeland, but also in our day-to-day education, communication and administration. I know it has taken some time to get to this point, and believe me, I've felt the same frustrations as some of you have, but the results will be worth waiting for, and they're revolutionary. No doubt you are wondering why it has taken so long, and anyone that knows me knows that if I can't say anything good about someone or something, I prefer not to say anything at all. But I also believe in transparency. We were with our previous database contractors for many years. Our system was basic and required us to do much of our data input and the like by manual means. This was onerous and very costly from both a product and staffing perspective. But that's how it was done. A few years ago, I was advised that the past database contractors were going cloud-based and we would need to update the system accordingly. This represented an opportunity to make the system start working for us instead of us working for it. And again, I was advised that the best option was to stay with the old provider and have them develop a system that we could use. That system was put in place, and while it did have some advantages, it was costly to maintain with license fees, contracts and updates, and I wasn't happy with the standard of service we were receiving. The writing was on the wall. If we didn't make a change, the money we were going to be spending moving forward could over time have a negative effect on our capitation fees and our ability to continue with new innovative communication streams. Economies throughout the world have struggled of late, and we've seen other Grand Lodges raise capitation fees by enormous amounts in order for them to continue operating, and we don't want that here in New South Wales. Like it or not, sooner or later, we've had to act. We're not still driving Model T forwards and sending telegrams by Morse code, and I'm sure back then there were those that resisted change as well. But society moves on and it waits for no one. If we wait, the costs of keeping relevant would be substantial, and eventually it'd all be out of reach. We can't let that happen. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you'll never get a different result. We had to make the transition to our own system, get rid of the expensive ongoing contracts and license fees, and set ourselves up for the future. I tasked the Board of Management with sourcing a way that we could save money, better service our administration department, reduce paperwork, and at the same time bring the way we operated at lodge level into the 21st century. The challenge was that instead of paying large sums of money for more or less renting a system, I wanted us to own the system and do away with what was becoming a very high cost and, in many opinions, an ineffective way of doing business. I knew that the old saying, short-term pain for long-term gain, was going to be the case. But as a leader, you have to lead. And the long-term benefits with all that we've done over the last 12 months represent savings into the millions of dollars over the next 10 years or so. The next challenge was building a system, and this was meant to be done with relative ease. Migrating the data across, however, that didn't come easily. The information we received from the previous provider was quite frankly very disappointing, but we weren't about to let that beat us either. What should have been a one-day job turned into many months of manually updating the ranks, roles and inputting relevant information to over 7,000 members' profiles. Even the members' ages were incorrect and not usable. So this was an onerous task, but it had to be done. To achieve the best user experience, the information that you'll now have access to must be allocated by way of setting access to roles and ranks. and that was never going to be achievable with the information that we were given. I want to thank those that have, over the past 6 months or so, spent hundreds of hours of their own time at no cost to us as members, cross-referencing information in order to get your profiles as close as possible to 100% accurate. We believe that we can now confidently move forward and make a real difference. Please log in and check your profile. Let us know if there are any inconsistencies, and we can now remedy that with ease. So where are we now? For our Lodge Secretaries, the new LMR has been tested, and we've just been waiting on the roles and ranks to be updated. That is now being completed, and the new LMR will be launched within the next 2 weeks or so, giving you clear functionality, ease of use, and many other great benefits that will assist you in your important role. Lodges will now have their very own web page, and the Lodge Secretary will have the ability to modify and update that web page as they see fit. This functionality will also be available at around the same time as the new LMR is launched. I've seen the new Find a Lodge function, and it is awesome. That too will be available by the end of the month. Now that the roles and ranks have been sorted, we have some amazing educational material available. You now have professional quality audio recordings of the charges for each of the 3 degree ceremonies, crafted by a skilled voiceover artist who is also a Mason in Right Worshipful Brother Adam Whitby. This ensures not only the highest standards, but it adheres to our traditions. These recordings are designed to assist brethren in learning and delivering charges as effectively as possible. Access to these valuable resources is exclusive to members and can now be found in the Education and Training section of our website. We recognise that education is a cornerstone of Masonry, vital to both engaging and retaining our members. By embracing modern day technology, we're now able to offer Masons a clear understanding of the craft's principles and tenets in some really innovative ways. In a groundbreaking move for any Grand Lodge, most of our educational material will now include audio recordings. This approach not only honours our traditions, as seen in the audio of the charges, but it also aligns with our work to future-proof the craft and cater to different learning preferences and environments. Common sense tells us that the way people learn varies, so we have to vary the way we present the material. Audio recordings transform our educational content into formats similar to audiobooks or podcasts and offer a new cutting-edge learning experience, making Masonic education much more accessible and, most importantly, enjoyable. I want to finish today's newsletter by giving you a wrap. A Grand Master and his team can't operate without the help and support of the brethren. As Masons, we must from time to time make serious decisions that control our direction. And you have done that. You've made some very important decisions from the floor of our Grand Lodge. You've made those decisions competently and decisively, and you always get it right. Well done. The Deputy Grand Master, Right Worshipful Brother Chris Albano. Your Assistant Grand Master, Right Worshipful Brother Paul Schultz. Your Grand Wardens, the Grand Ceremonial team, and I will still be getting about between now and August, supporting you all, and we look forward to catching up. Until we meet, brethren, please stay safe and look after your friends and loved ones.